Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode number 98 of Imprint Cast, the podcast dedicated to the Australian boutique label Imprint Films. My name is Tony Michas, and unfortunately, my partner and colleague, Mr. John Matthews, could not join us today, but we have family still with us. Joining us, of course, is our family member, Mr. Paul Berriman. Paul, how are you doing, good sir?
Doing very good, thank you, Tony. Thank you for asking me back on. It's great to be here with you again and our special guest.
Absolutely. And it's been a while since you've been on the show, because I know you've been busy.
Yeah, it's been a good,
Well,
good few episodes, but it's been good to listen back on what I have missed out on.
well, that's good. Glad you're listening. And of course, we have another family member with us. And for this episode, we always have to have our television guru, Mr. Jim Mulvihill. Jim, how you doing, good sir?
I'm doing very well, and thank you for inviting me back again. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure having you on, especially discussing television. Now, for this episode, we will be recording on video and audio because, as you can see in the background of Jim's collection, we are talking about television today, and the very first television bundle title we'll be talking about is, of course, The Adventures of Tintin. So let's get to it. Now, this is the July 2026 television bundle, and we're starting off with The Adventures of Tintin, the complete collection, which is imprint television number 36. Tintin, a globe-trotting young Belgian reporter with a nose for trouble, has been captivating readers around the world since Hergé first put pen to paper in 1929. This limited edition collection brings Tintin home to imprint television, featuring all 39 half-hour episodes of the animated 90s TV series restored in HD. The three Bell Vision animated films from 1963 to 1972, and the two feature documentaries that dive inside the history of the legendary character and his creation. The animated 90s French-Canadian series, The Adventures of Tintin, saw the plucky adventurer, his faithful white terrier Snowy, the irascible Captain Haddock, the absent-minded Professor Calculus, and the bumbling detectives Thompson and Thompson. Well, Thompson stars Thomson, and the other one is Thompson. That's why there's Thompson and Thompson. Leap from the pages to the small screen, captivating viewers worldwide. From hunting pirates' buried treasure and foiling international smuggling rings to a landmark moon landing sequence that pioneered the use of 3D animation. 3 decades earlier, Tintin had 3 animated feature-length outings: The Calculus Affair from 1963, Seven Crystal Balls and the Prisoners of the Sun from 1969, and Tintin and the Lake of Sharks from 1972, which are all included here, fully restored in HD. And finally, dive behind the scenes of Hergé and his iconic characters with 2 feature documentaries, Tintin and I from 2003 and I, Tintin from 1976. This is a limited edition 8-disc Blu-ray hardbox, which is only limited to 1,500 copies only. The special features and technical specs include The Adventures of Tintin from 1991 to 1992, 1080p high-definition presentation of all 39 episodes, restored in HD, presented in 1:77:1 aspect ratio, with 2 audio options: original LPCM 2.0 French mono audio and optional English subtitles, and the original English dubs. Tintin at the Movies, 1080p high-definition presentation of the films The Calculus Affair from 1963, Tintin and the Prisoners of the Sun, also known as Seven Crystal Balls from 1969, and Tintin and the Lake of Sharks from 1972, presented in 1:77 aspect ratio and original English dubs. The Tintin and I 2000 feature documentary from 2003, and the I, Tintin featured documentary from 1976. Well, that's all that's included in this set. And Jim, I am dying to hear this. How did you first come about with Tintin? As I can see in the background, Tintin related, and of course, what you're wearing.
I, I bought the DVD. I cut maybe 25, maybe 20, 25 years ago. Yeah, British one.
Mm-hmm.
Always liked Tintin. It was always on TV at the time. My daughter got it into her head that I'm a huge Tintin fan, which I wasn't at the time. And she's bought me various things from Belgium, from the Tintin shop, and also she's gone to one in London, in the West End. And she must have known that Imprint were going to release it in advance because she's been doing this for 18 months. And I've gradually fell in love with Tintin again. I've got little Snowy here. Yeah, little
Oh,
Snowy.
nice.
Yeah. I've got a little Tintin figure. Yeah. So we have gone Tintin mad. Oh, you haven't got a mug. There you go.
Oh,
So I watched just to catch up on it. I watched the Rocket one, and it was superb. So I'm really looking forward to this box set. The quality, the picture quality on the DVD I had is okay. It's not great. So I'm looking forward to the vast improvement that we're going to see with the imprint release.
Yeah.
But absolutely love it. I can recommend it to anybody, and it's something that's not it's not kid related. It's everyone related. So
absolutely.
please buy. I've actually a friend of mine actually asked me to buy a copy for him as well. So we got both for the animated releases for him and for myself as well.
Oh, that's great. That shows that Tintin is still well loved and well known from all over the world. And I grew up watching Tintin I haven't seen all 39 episodes, mind you, and I have not seen the theatrical features.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just, how can you not? Tintin is part of everybody's childhood from the 60s, and
yeah.
it is a great show.
Yeah.
Paul, have you seen any Tintin at all?
Yes, I have vague memories of seeing the show as a kid with my grandparents. My grandpa liked Tintin and had some of the books as well.
Yeah.
And so when episodes of the series were on, I do remember seeing it when this was announced and seeing the images. I definitely have memories of it, but I can't say I particularly remember any episode or anything. So I'm really excited to get this set and dive into it. We had an old DVD released here in Australia, which I didn't get, and it's like long out of print. And then in, I think it was 2011, the Tintin film that Steven Spielberg and Peter Jackson did. I went to the cinema to see that, and I really enjoyed it. Thought the story was really great. I liked the immersiveness of the 3D. It's one of the few 3D films I saw in cinema. Can't wait till they finally do a sequel to that one, which was meant to come along and then got pushed back due to Peter Jackson's schedule. But yeah, just anything in that world was really fun. There's a real nice humor to those stories as well. So yeah, definitely looking forward to getting this, and those features that you mentioned that are part of this set, the animated features, they sound really interesting.
They do, especially the documentaries, because I love watching documentaries about animation. How long the process takes, for an animated film or a TV series. It's still amazing that there are some Saturday morning cartoons, like you get a new episode a week, and that must take years in preparation to get everything ready. And kudos to the artists and animators, and even today, even though today mostly CGI computer animation, but still, but at least there are still some films releasing lately that is the old school hand drawn, which is fantastic. You can't beat that.
Frame by frame, such concentration that takes to do that frame by frame.
Yeah, but you see, it's no longer viable though, is it? Because of the money and the time it takes.
Yeah, right.
Once they've got it with the computerized, they can do it a lot quicker now. But I don't know, it lacks something that the older cartoons have. I can't quantify it exactly, but it does lack something. Maybe it's too clinical. I don't know. But
maybe.
I'm looking forward to this Tintin, and in particular this other box set that they're releasing, because I think I've vaguely seen 1 or 2 episodes of the other box set, but I can't quite remember it, if you know what I mean. It's there in the background. So again, I'm looking forward to both. sorry to keep on, but it's something that you will see me post about, because what I talk about, if I say I'm going to order it, I always order it.
Oh, don't we know it?
we all do it. We all order it.
We all do it. Yes, that's true. Yeah. And speaking of the next box set, Jim, would you like to discuss the next animated box set from this bundle?
Most certainly. Complete collection, 1977, limited edition, Blu-ray, hardbox, imprint television 37. Years after Hergé puts Tintin on the front page, his friend and fellow Belgian cartoonist Edgar P. Jacobs set about creating a very different kind of adventure, bold, brainy, and steeped in Cold War intrigue. The Blake and Mortimer comics pitted two brilliant British minds against the forces of global villainy across stories of espionage, ancient mysteries, and rogue science. Imprint Television is proud to present the animated series produced by the team behind The Adventures of Tintin, coming to Blu-ray for the first time worldwide, presented here in both upscaled 177:1 widescreen high definition transfers and the original 133:1 standard definition versions, with both original French audio and optional English subtitles and alternative English dubs. Across 26 episodes, Captain Francis Blake of MI5 and his friend Professor Philip Mortimer are repeatedly pitted against their sworn nemesis, the cunning Colonel Ulrich, drawing on 9 of Jacobs' original albums alongside 4 brand new stories created exclusively for the screen. The series takes our heroes from the pyramids of Egypt to the frozen wastes of Iceland and far beyond. Limited edition high definition 1080p, presented in upscale 177:1 widescreen high definition transfers of all 26 episodes, standard definition presentation in original 133:1 aspect ratio of all 26 episodes, audio original French LPCM 2.0 stereo, English dub LPCM 2.0 stereo, and optional English subtitles. And like I said, I think I've vaguely seen 1 or 2 episodes, but it's in the memory, but it's not quite, I can't quite quantify it again. So I think that's although I love Tintin, I think this is the first one I'll watch because I want to reacquaint myself, or at least I think I'm going to reacquaint myself with this.
Of course. Yeah, Paul, have you seen Blake and Mortimer?
No, this is one that I hadn't even heard of before, but after hearing that description, it sounds really interesting. Like it'll be like lots of sort of fun episodes, different sort of themes surrounding them. Yeah, definitely sounds like one I'll be interested in. So I had ordered this in the bundle, as you know. I was looking up the animation studio that did this and their other products, because seeing these images, it kind of reminded me of things which are more from my era growing up, which is in sort of into the early 90s. And the same studio was responsible for other sort of shows that I watched as well. They did like the Babar movie. But yeah, I was scrolling through a list and they definitely a wide ranging studio that's still creating stuff today under their main company Ellipse. So yeah, it's sort of Rupert, actually that was one, Rupert the Bear, sort of similar look and feel to their productions. So yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing this one.
Yeah, I'm with you, Paul. I have never seen an episode of Blake and Mortimer, which is a real shame because I know I think it's because it looks too similar to Tintin for me when I was younger, but that's why I just stuck with Tintin, and I have not seen Blake and Mortimer. So yeah, and with this release, it's a great opportunity to watch that. And yeah, I'm going to be with you, Jim, on that one, watching that one first because I've never seen it, and I'm looking forward to it. But I must ask you, gentlemen, this question. Will you watch it in the original French dub with the original French language or English dub?
I've never experienced Tintin with the original French language. It's always been in the English dub. And of course I know the voices and that, but I think I will actually have a go at the French dub with the subtitles and see how I go.
Yeah,
because
same here.
Yeah, I normally like that. If I have a foreign film, I will always watch it in the original language and read the subtitles.
Yeah, I'm the same. If there's an original language, I'll go for it. So it's great that they've included that here with the subs, even though, for me, Tintin, the vague memories I have, it's definitely an English version, but it would be good to watch it in the French version. And Blake and Mortimer, I haven't even seen it at all, but probably watch the French.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you guys there because I've only seen it in English, Tintin that is, and I'm looking forward to seeing it in its original French language as well as Blake and Mortimer. So, and like with me, I refuse to watch films dubbed in English if they're international. But yeah, I always watch it with the original language with subtitles, no matter what. I just love foreign films are incredible, and they should be seen in their original language.
Yeah, because you take the emotion out of the moment when you watch it in a different, when you listen to it in a different language. It doesn't convey the way it will do it in the original language.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I've seen some pretty bad dubbing in movies, but like Italian films, for instance, they're well known because
Yeah.
they're pretty well known, especially the westerns. They're pretty they're out of sync and everything, but you can't beat the original language, hands down.
Mm. Well, I think you got your
Oh,
answer there, Tony.
Alrighty. And believe it or not, we're up to the final box set in this bundle. I'm looking forward to discussing August. I wonder how long that will be. And Paul, would you like to discuss? I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Paul, would you like to talk about the final television box set from the month of July?
Yeah, of course. So we have TV Movie of the Week collection number 6. This is imprint television number 42 to 44. Continue our TV Movie of the Week series with collection 6, which showcases the fondly remembered and pioneering genre of movies made for television. These 3 gripping, gritty dramas from the turn of the decade all make their worldwide Blu-ray debut. We have Undercover with the KKK from 1979, The Child Stealer from 1979, and Detour to Terror from 1980. It's a 3-disc limited edition hard box, and it's limited to 1,500 copies only. So go with the first one, Undercover with the KKK from 1979, which is imprint television number 42, worldwide first on Blu-ray. Alabama, the early 1960s. The civil rights movement is gathering force, and so is the violent resistance against it. When Gary Thomas Rowe Jr., a young man from Birmingham, is recruited by the FBI to infiltrate his local Ku Klux Klan chapter, he finds himself living a dangerous double life, attending rallies, earning the trust of dangerous men, and feeding intelligence back to his handlers, all while the stakes grow even higher. Based on Rowe's own autobiography and first broadcast on NBC in 1979, this gripping TV movie stars Don Meredith from Dallas alongside Ed Lauter, Clifton James, and Albert Salmi. A tense and sobering dramatization of one of the most volatile chapters in American history, Undercover with the KKK is a compelling piece of socially conscious television. Technical specs include a 1080p high definition presentation on Blu-ray, audio's English LPCM 2.0 dual mono, aspect ratio of 1:33 to 1, and optional English hard of hearing subtitles. The second one in this is The Child Stealer from 1979, imprint television number 43, also worldwide first on Blu-ray. When a bitter divorce ends in a custody ruling, a mother believes the worst is behind her. But when her ex-husband abducts their 2 young daughters and disappears, she quickly discovers that the law offers her little protection and even less help. First broadcast in 1979, this taut and emotionally charged TV movie tackles the then little discussed issue of parental child abduction with real urgency. Starring Blair Brown from Altered States and Beau Bridges, the Fabulous Baker Boys, and directed by Mel Damsky, Yellowbeard, The Child Stealer is a gripping portrait of a mother pushed to her limits. Technical specs 1080p high definition presentation on Blu-ray, audio English LPCM 2.0 dual mono, aspect ratio of 1:33 to 1, and optional English hard of hearing subtitles. And then our third film TV movie in this set is Detour to Terror from 1980. A busload of tourists is heading to Las Vegas when 3 armed men on dune buggies force them off the road and into the scorching Nevada desert. With no help coming and the hijackers growing increasingly dangerous, it falls to the bus driver to keep the passengers alive and find and find a way out. This slice of late 70s TV action stars O.J. Simpson in a powerful performance from the height of his post-NFL fame, alongside Lorenzo Lamas from Grease, Randall Carver from There Will Be Blood, Anne Francis from Forbidden Planet, and comedian Art Johnson, Ronan and Martin's Laugh-In. Detour to Terror delivers exactly what it promises: off-roading grit, desert dust, and plenty of Saturday night thrills. Technical specs, 1080p high definition presentation on Blu-ray, English LPCM 2.0 mono, the aspect ratio is 1:3:3:1, and optional hard of hearing subtitles. As you guys know, I loved the TV Movie of the Week collections. Finally starting the fourth one, The Contract on Cherry Street, I watched a couple of weeks ago. Absolutely loved that. It was such a good one. These three in particular sound really interesting, but I haven't heard of any of them before, but I'll definitely be picking it up because the TV movies are always lots of fun, as we talked about before.
Yeah, I have not seen any of them either, and please forgive me my phone was ringing, unfortunately, but it was convenient that it started ringing right after the Psycho ringtone with the KK after the KKK, so it was fun.
It was brilliant.
My apologies, everybody. I have not seen these films, but the first one, Undercover with the KKK and Detour to Terror, I gotta say, they sound really fascinating to me because they like Undercover with the KKK sounds quite similar to the recent Spike Lee movie called Black Klansman. Have you seen Black Klansman?
Yeah,
I haven't seen it yet, but I do want to. It reminded me a little bit of an old Doris Day movie, I think Storm Warning.
Yes, Storm Warning. Yes,
sort of reminded me of that as well in the themes. There's overarching KKK theme in that film as well from I think the 50s.
Yeah, of course, yeah, because Black Klansman also has a similar storyline, you know, but because it's based on a true story, an undercover black police officer, you know, goes with the KKK, you know, undercover. It has some pretty powerful moments, as expected from a Spike Lee movie. But this film, Undercover with the KKK, that does sound really interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing that one. And Detour to Terror, O.J. Simpson again, like that one, that yes, you know, we all know him as the football star, and of course one of the supporting roles from the Naked Gun films. But Jim, I know you've got a story to tell.
Well, I did a bit of research, and I couldn't believe what I came up with. Detour to Terror, 1980s, produced by Columbia Pictures, very much in the style of the late 70s TV disaster and suspense movies. Story follows a tour bus traveling through the southwest towards Las Vegas. The driver, Lee Hayes, played by O.J. Simpson, suddenly finds the bus under attack by three violent criminals during driving dune buggies across the desert. The gang's real objective is to kidnap one of the passengers, but the situation escalates into a desperate survival story as the bus is forced off the highway into the desert. The stranded passengers must work together while Lee tries to outwit the attackers and keep everyone alive. It's less a disaster movie, more a chase movie, most of the action taking place in the open desert. Would you believe Nicola Brown Simpson is uncredited as a bus passenger? It's the only film which both she and OJ appear together on screen. And I went, whoa. And that was in 1980. And of course, 1994, we all know what happened. So, yeah. We seem to be getting a lot of OJ.
We are, yes.
A lot of OJ from Imprint. What's going on? But I haven't seen this movie, but reading about it, in fact, the three movies here, they seem all three very good movies. And I think it's probably, I know we say this all the time, but this is probably the best box set of this series.
Yeah.
In my opinion. But I still haven't caught up with, I've watched two films from 4. I haven't watched anything from 5, and of course I've ordered this, and I don't think I'll get round to it for a while. I've got a little information about the KKK one as well.
Please share.
Yeah, Undercover with the KKK, American made-for-TV drama that aired on NBC, directed by Barry Shear. It's based on an autobiography by Undercover Years with the Ku Klux Klan by Gary Thomas Rowe Jr. on an FBI informant who infiltrated the Klan during the Civil Rights era. The film demonstrates, dramatizes the life of Gary Thomas, played by Don Meredith, who secretly worked as an informant against the Klan leaders in witness intimidation, bombings, beatings, and murders carried out against Black Americans and civil rights activists. The police, based on relevance through historians, have long debated Gary Roll's legacy, because basically he actually murdered a lady, and he was indicted for this in 1965. But because he was in the pay of the because he was given immunity by the federal government as a paid informant, so he actually participated in the murder, and he wasn't brought to justice for it. So, and he wrote a book that was released in 1976. He was born in Savannah, Georgia, and he died in Savannah. So he was over 30 years after this came out, still living in the same place, which I found quite interesting, because you would have thought, with all the newspaper and all the allegations, that you think somebody might have actually done something to him, but he got away with it. Not a nice man by all accounts, but justice was secured on these people to a certain degree. But I've seen about 4 or 5 minutes of the film, and it looks quite interesting. So again, this is another good one that I think is going to be worth watching. There's also the child steal is very serious. It's talking about American law, about from state to state and the different laws, and about how they couldn't really get any, they couldn't resolve the situation between them. It's going to be a bit of a tearjerker, that one, with Blair Brown and
Beau Bridges.
Thank you, Beau Bridges. Yes. Yeah. So again, another good story, and I think I hope Imprint continue on this theme, because it's great to bring these made-for-TV movies into the mainstream. Because where they're going to be if we don't do that, they're going to be forgotten about, and these are forgotten about to a certain degree, but they are now going to get 1,500 copies out there, and hopefully people will start to enjoy these things again.
Yep, they're being saved. And
yeah.
When Volume 5 came through, I did note that they've included Friday evening on their back design of their TV guide. So this will be Saturday evening. Collection 7, hopefully, if there's one, there'll be Sunday. We'll see what happens after that, I guess.
I know I said this in the last episode. I sure do hope they don't end at number 7. I hope it continues on, because this Imprint series is fantastic. Seeing long lost, or long unseen, I should say, television movies, incredible. You just can't beat that. It's great.
Yeah, but I mean, that's how Columbo and Banachek and McLeod started, and Macmillan and Wife. Just this movie, one-off movie, and see what happens afterwards. There are 2 or 3 really interesting movies that we've seen on the series that really do resonate, and I think these 3 movies are going to become favorites. The KKK is going to be a hard watch, I would imagine. Do you know, I can't remember the guy's name, but you will remind me. He was in a couple of James Bond films as a sheriff, and JDW Pop or whatever, and he's making reference to Roger Moore. He was saying, "Are you the English secret agent?" In his American accent. But he's in that movie, but for the life of me, I can't remember his name. You don't, obviously, Paul's going to find out.
Paul's checking now. If I know Paul, he'll
thank you,
probably
Paul.
do that now.
Was it Clifton? Somebody, Clifton? But he was in 2 James Bond films, and he played a sheriff, and he was saying, my cousin's got this boat, and it's a black fella that's in the boat, and of course everyone's looking at one another, because they are very racist at that time.
Clifton James, loudmouthed Louisiana Sheriff J.D. Pepper, alongside Roger Moore in 2 James Bond films, Live and Let Die, and The Man with the Golden Gun. Yeah, Clifton.
Okay.
And he was brilliant in both, by the way. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Thank you, Google.
Indeed.
But
just some quick typing.
Sorry, yeah, he's in that film, and he's in the James Bond films, and he's wonderful. So hopefully, he's going to bring that quality into this film as well. I did see him in the court case. I saw a clip of the court case, and he was quite funny in that as well. I won't spoil it for people. I don't want to say too much.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be good to let everyone see it with a blind eye. It'll be great.
Yeah, it's essential because I don't want to spoil it for people, but I haven't seen it properly either, so I'm looking. I'll keep quiet.
It's always really interesting watching the TV movies too, where obviously the editing has been allowed for the ads, and so you sort of get a fade, and obviously you fade back in. But it's kind of you put yourself in that mindset. Wow, if I was watching this premiering on TV back in the day, I'd be, utter suspense at the point where they've decided to cut for an ad break, and then you've got to wait, see what comes back. I remember when I was watching Contract on Cherry Street, there are a few moments where, like, wow, if I'd been, watching that back in the day, I wouldn't have wanted to wait to find out what was happening, because it's just such an intense story that, although it's like 3 hours long, it doesn't feel like that at all, because all the characters are so interesting, and all the different motivations, and Frank Sinatra's character trying to figure everything out in that is just really sort of powers it along. So yeah, I'm always like seeing the way the structure is for TV movies kind of different to a cinematic piece in a way.
I thought in that film that the camera loved Frank Sinatra. Absolutely loved him, the way he was, and the way that his crew looked up to him, because he came into the room, that was it. You're looking at him, you're not looking at anybody else, So yes, I mean, to have the talent he had, it's not fair. It's not fair.
It's not, but he was a talented individual, Frank Sinatra, but unfortunately, he was well known to being a bit of a male diva, to say the least. He was a talent that you cannot deny.
Well, another one of my favorite lead actors is Glenn Ford, and he had the same problem. He was a womanizer as well as a bit of a But that doesn't take away from his art, his craft.
No, that's right.
But Sinatra could, he could sing a note, and you'd go, oh. It's incredible talent, and he could act as well, because there's a lot of singers that tried acting and they've failed miserably. But Sinatra was brilliant on both, and it was a nice cast, by the way, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a superb cast. Yeah, really interesting. That's just all in just a TV movie. So
it really, that should have had a general release, I thought, personally, but there you go. I like when they did The Raid. It was quite fun.
Yes.
But again, I won't say too much, because if people haven't watched it, it's not fair,
Okay, well, it looks like it's the end of the episode already. I know, like, it seems like there's a lot to discuss, but there was only 3 box sets. But still quite an impressive bundle. The imprint television bundles coming in July: The Adventures of Tintin, the complete collection; Blake and Mortimer, the complete collection; and TV Movie of the Week collection number 6. These will all be released on July 29th, 2026, and you can pre-order them now from the Imprint Films website and other retailers to follow after July 29th. So, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining in on this episode. As always, Paul, it's always a great pleasure having you on.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I always love discussing these TV titles with you both. It always, as I say, makes me really excited for them coming up. Even those ones I haven't heard of makes me even more excited. So yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. And of course, Mr. Jim Mulvihill, thank you so much once again.
Well, I must say, I get so excited, I get my words muddled up sometimes, because I'm absolutely in love with TV stuff and film. So thank you for, I don't know, for me achieving an ambition I didn't even know I wanted to achieve, to talk on the podcast about my favourite subject. Thank you very much.
Our pleasure, believe me. All right, you can follow Jim, Paul, and myself on the Imprint Films Blu-ray Collections fan group and Imprint Cast Facebook pages. And Paul, I believe you have well, actually, you showed me this. There is also a letterbox version app for television. So, for those who don't know, would you be able to tell us what this app is called? No, yeah, if you don't mind.
Yeah, of
Oh.
course. So it's called Serialized, and it is essentially like Letterboxd, but for TV. So you can use it to log episodes as you watch things. You can add a review or a rating. And so I've made that like Letterboxd for film, but my TV diary. And when I'm up to a particular episode of something, if I've forgotten, which disc I might be up to, I can just look on the app. Oh, yep, the last episode I watched was episode 10, and now I'm up to 11. And then you can make lists as well. So I've made a little list in my profile for the Imprint TV series that have come out. Yeah, it's just really fun because, as you know, I love Letterboxd, and a few years ago, I was like, oh, I wonder if there's an equivalent for television, and that's one that I decided to use. It's free to use, and yeah, it's a fun little app.
Yeah,
Wow.
it is. Yeah, Paul recommended me this app, and I love it. Like, I am. Rate every TV show that I watch so far, but there's so much more to go, as you can
Yeah, and you can
see.
add your favorites. You can any lists that you like, and so the spelling is Serializd. So serialized without the e on the end. It's a fun little app, and as I say, it's really handy. And then once I do log something, you can then look at reviews that other people have posted for a particular episode of something, or you might even be the first one to log things. Like some episodes of Space 1999, I think I was like the first person logging on there. So it's obviously
Oh
not
wow.
really widely used, but as just a diary function, and for someone like me who can easily forget things short term, it's just nice to have that as a reference point, the same as I do with Letterboxd for film.
Well, that's great.
Wow.
Thanks for sharing that info, Paul. Means the world.
Oh, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah. Help.
Alrighty, everybody. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Hope you all have a good one, and we'll see you very soon. And I can't believe our next episode is episode 99, and then we got our big 100th to discuss. To reveal, we did a poll for our episode 100th title, and the winning film from the poll is Midnight Cowboy. So we'll definitely be discussing that film with one of our Imprint Films Blu-ray Collection fan group members. I won't reveal who it is until the end, until the episodes air. So all good. I
Very
thank you so.
exciting.
Oh, I can't wait. I know. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening and watching. And hope you all have a good one. Paul and Jim, thank you once again, and we'll speak to you soon. See you soon. Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening and watching this latest episode of Imprintcast. Imprintcast is a part of Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and hope you all have a great day.